Hi, you are live on We the People. This is Rob. Who are we speaking with tonight?
Hi, Rob. This is Tisha Casida.
Hi, how are you tonight? Thank
I'm.
you for calling in.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing good, and we were just finishing up talking about some people here locally that how you go before and speak in front of your local city council, and your points, and what they were doing was asking about looking at the budget and saying that this money should just stay in the city coffers, shouldn't be used for general purpose funds, and that you don't need to be going further into debt. And so we talked earlier in the show about you are running for Congress up in Colorado, and I know you're involved locally. And tell us a little bit about your campaign and about what you're doing.
Sure. I was inspired to stand up and run for Congress. I'm a small business owner in southern Colorado. All of my clients and myself have been severely affected by the economy, and I think it's time for or for lots of people in my generation to stand up and try and do something to preserve liberty and prosperity for our country. And what really inspired me was just seeing the effects of local, state, and national controls or laws that make it nearly impossible for you to be free and to create a living for yourself. So,
Well, and you know, you mentioned about your generation. Now, how old are you?
I'm 29.
You're 29, and because this is a kind of a recurring theme that we're seeing. We had Leila Pittenger is running for the U.S. Senate, and she is 36, and has echoed some of that, and that's here in Texas. But she's echoed some of those same themes that I'm hearing you talk about. And you know, what is it that you feel that causes that if you get in there versus the people that are 50 and 60 that are in Congress right now? What's the difference that your perspective can bring?
Well, I think more than anything, it's not really a difference of age as it is a difference in how much quote-unquote political experience one has. I think that we need people in office, no matter how old they are, but people in office that actually represent we the people, meaning they live and they have to work for a living. And so that particular perspective, when you have to go to work every day to earn a paycheck, or when you own your own small business and are relying upon other people writing you a check and viable cash flow to be able to actually eat and create a living for yourself, those are the types of things that make you understand basic economic principles, which are so important right now for our country to get a grasp on. And so really it's not really a matter of age, although I think for my generation I have nothing to lose by trying to create a very free country. I have no retirement, I will have no Social Security, I will have no benefits, and frankly I could probably not get any welfare even if I tried because of my political activism. So I think that...
So you've got nothing to lose here, I think, is what you're saying, right?
That's right. And I think people in my generation feel the same way. And I think people of any age right now, if they're not involved politically or not one of the accepted, feel like they have something to stand up for and nothing to lose.
Well, I'm going around your website here right now as we're talking on the show, and that is Casida, 2012.com. And I'm looking at your platform, and I like here that you've got no more spending, civil liberties and privacy, 10th Amendment, protect and preserve agriculture, and education and fiscal and monetary policy, and national security and foreign policy. And, you know, you talk about protect and preserve agriculture, and when I flipped over, you had posted here about the Know Your Turkey. And you want to talk on that a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a proponent of knowing your farmer, knowing your rancher, and knowing where your food comes from. At the very core of our existence, we have to have food to survive. And people need to understand the importance of knowing where their food comes from. And our centralized food supply makes it nearly impossible to source 100% of your food locally. However, each of us can take baby steps to learn more about where our food's coming from. when we do that, we're empowering ourselves. We're getting food that's grown closer to home. We're generally, purchasing food that's healthier, and we're also, creating profound effects on our local economies by finding and purchasing food locally. So for me, I grew up on a small farm. I'm very close to producers. I understand what it takes for them to make a living, and really, I'm a health nut. So I think that a lot of our problems as a country stem from the fact that we're very sick. And instead of our healthcare system, which is actually a sick care system, there's things we can do preventatively to take care of ourselves. And so it's one big circle, but I believe that, each of us can take a step and empower ourselves every day and learn a little bit more about what we're putting into our bodies, which basically creates our brains and how good we feel, and that affects everything else, because you can't fight for liberty if you don't feel good.
Well, and I think that's really important, and we're talking about what everyone's doing in their local communities. And one of the things I'm trying to bring up on our YouTube site here, you can go and see our video about the local farmers market in San Marcos, and YouTube's just going a little slow for us tonight. But we've gotten out and talked about every Saturday morning here locally. You can get out and meet your farmers and talk to your the people that grow, and to get some fresh vegetables, and it's just so important to know and to get that taste and get the fresh eggs and to know where these things came from. And so now you have local farmers markets, and are you seeing laws and things there in Colorado and there locally to restrict what they can sell and what they can do?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, the last event that sealed the deal on me wanting to run for office was the fact that we tried to run a farmer's market in our own community in Pueblo County. And we faced lots of rules and regulations locally with our event, but we also started to see state and federal laws. One instance was my mom has chickens, and so she has pasture-raised eggs, and or pasture-raised chickens that have the eggs. And the regulations that she faced just to be able to take, 24 eggs to market and sell them were outrageous. And the bullying tactics of our local health department were incredibly frightening. And that's just one instance. I've worked with producers that have a realm of different products, whether it's meat and animal products or produce itself. And so yeah, I'm seeing lots of problems, and it comes, I think, from a federal level and trickles down locally. And these are the things that we can, as you have said, that we can really take a stand and fight for locally to make a difference. And it makes all the difference in the world if we can fight at that local level with our food supply.
Well, and it starts from getting involved locally and getting, you talk about your local health inspectors not on board with this, and, it comes from people getting together, getting down, getting your city council. It takes time, and that's one of the things that I think people don't realize, how lucky we are to be able to have this every Saturday, to be able to go down and to have that locally here in Texas, that we do have all around the state, this freedom to do this. Now, within some of the larger cities, Austin has ran into a lot of the problems with this. I know San Antonio has had a lot of issues. So the battle is out there, and I know that's one of the key things when you get to Congress. Now, one of the other things I wanted to kind of ask you about, because this is a grassroots campaign, and do you have lots of money tied up in signs?
Lots of money tied up in what?
No, you don't, do you? It's kind of a... what's your budget that you have right now for your campaign?
Right now we have a couple $1,000s. We haven't even reached the limit to file with the FEC, but we're certainly working on that.
And so what you're doing, what's kind of some of the strategy? Because I'm going to talk here at the end of tonight. Our words for activism tonight are strategy and tactics, and that's very important. And what are some of the strategies that you have, and what are some of the tactics that you plan on using to win this race for yourself?
Well, financially, we're going to do what our past candidate and current president did, and that's reach as many people as we can at a grassroots level to give small amounts of money. And really, based off of quantity rather than quantity, or quantity rather than the amount of money, it's the amount of people that we can reach. And so, we're trying to get people to subscribe or donate to giving us, between $10 and $20 a month. And if we can get a good base of people willing to do this, then that would create, viable cash flow for our campaign. On the other side of that, the non-financial side of getting people involved, it's really about, again, empowering people. This campaign is about much more than getting someone elected. It's about finding and connecting people within Colorado's 3rd Congressional District that really want to make a difference. And the more, I call, people that are willing to stand up and do something, I call them lights. And so if we can find these lights and find people that want to make this difference, then, we're creating a network of people that are willing to do that. And then, tapping into these people to share information within their own localities. So,
well, and I'm on your donate page right now, and you can go there to make a donation. Again, CASIDA2012.com, and you can go to the donate. But one of the other things that I like here is that you've got for people to make some comments. And Chris Hampton had said our country is in big trouble, in debt, Obamacare. We need Liberty Core principles. Go vote for Tisha. And these are the kind of people here that not only donating the money, but donating the time for you and getting out and spreading the word, I think, is what you're saying is very important, right?
Absolutely. It's up to the people. This campaign is up to the people. And that's, I tell, the folks that I talk to, that's what I tell them. I have no money coming from any political party. I'm not going to have any support, which means I'm not tied to a political party. Who I'm tied to is the people. And therefore, if the people want a candidate with the character and integrity to stand up for, what they believe in, which is hopefully the Constitution and having a, free market that we can do business in, then it is up to the people to make that happen. This is not something I'm doing for my ego. This is, about being a voice for 614,000 people in the 3rd Congressional District.
Now, the 3rd Congressional District, and I didn't pull this up, I may be in a second here, in Colorado. What's the area that this covers?
It's 54,000 square miles, which is almost the size of the state of Louisiana.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of space to cover out there, don't you?
We do. If you know of anyone who flies a helicopter, please let me know.
Well, Alaska bush pilots maybe, but
yeah.
but how do you plan on covering, and where's your major areas that you need to get to within that?
The 2 largest counties in the district are Mesa County and Pueblo County. So they're really the densest as far as population. For the campaign itself, we're going to hit every single county and as many of the towns that we can with our message. This is, again, much more than a numbers game. It's about reaching the people. And I think if we can do that effectively, we'll see a movement grow organically, if you will. And so, yeah, we'll reach out everywhere that we can to everyone who's friendly to what we're promoting, and hope that, this is an election cycle where the people, it doesn't matter what political party they are. I'm hoping to find people that are willing to stand up and do something great, locally as well as at a national level.
And I'm trying to pull up the map here, and I just moved off a little bit. Let's see here if we can pull that back up. So, yeah, I mean, you're going all the way from, Grand Junction, Trinidad, Durango, all over here, correct, for your district?
Yeah, it's a very large district, and it's a very unique district. We have a lot of history in our district that plays a role nationally. We have it's beautiful country. We have a lot of ag producers, and a lot of people that are very discontented with what's happening in Washington right now on both sides of the aisle.
And and so, yeah, because we were talking about that earlier tonight, is that, people aren't happy with what's been going on, is that they don't feel that there's action, they don't feel that anything's really happening to solve the debt crisis. We're still going to have our debt, and until we actually start paying it down and making those tough decisions.
Well, exactly. And neither Republicans or Democrats at a national level, Sons, Ron Paul, Rand Paul, and probably a couple of others, none of them are proactively looking at monetary policy, that is what's bankrupting 100% of Americans right now. It doesn't matter what political party affiliation they are. The fact that we have the Federal Reserve pumping trillions of dollars into places that we don't even know because they're not transparent and not held accountable is, it's frightening. There's so many people that know this and understand this. There's so many people at a federal level that have to have this knowledge and be empowered to make decisions and do something proactive to change it, and they're not. And that in my mind is criminal, because that is the truth. That's what's really hurting everyone right now. And that's why we need representatives to go and be actionable and proactive and actually attack the problems, attack the root of the problems that affect all Americans. And it's not a political party issue, and it's not a liberal versus conservative issue. It's a monetary policy issue. Whoever controls the money controls the people. And right now it's an entity that is, in my opinion, guilty of theft.
And I like that. We're gonna wrap up here about 30 seconds, but I like that you say it's about you, and that's important. And I just want to mention a footnote for you that one of the reasons I was real interested in having you call in tonight too is my father was born in Trinidad, Colorado, so I've got a little bit of history down that neck of the way too. So I know what you're talking about the people and about getting back to the roots. 30 seconds. What can people do to get out there and get involved like you're doing?
I think that, first of all, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid of anything that might happen, good or bad. You have to just go out there and really follow your heart. And so, if people take the time to listen to what their heart is saying and follow through with it, I believe that, we could change the political landscape of our country overnight. And so it's kind of it might be a little soft of an answer, but I think that people really need to quiet their minds and listen to their heart this election. Look for people that really represent their values, and if people feel it in their heart to stand up and make a difference, then don't be afraid. And contact us. We'll support your campaign. We'll do whatever we can. It's up to us, and we have to support each other.
And I think that's the key thing, is standing up and making a difference. Tisha Casida, and again, just going off of what you've got here, a lifelong Coloradan. You studied business, political science, graduated with dual major in 2005, small farm in Vineland, Colorado. Good luck to you, and keep us posted. Please call in and let us know how we can help. And thanks for joining the network here with getting the word out to people about how they can get involved locally. And appreciate you taking this part of your life to make a difference.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and have yourself a good weekend. And by the way, what's your temperature up there today?
I'm sure it was in the 90s. I'm not sure exactly what, though. I'm just glad it's not humid.
Well, just be glad it's not 107 like we had down here in Texas. All right, I had to ask for all of those watching tonight, hiding out in the air conditioning.
Exactly.
Tisha, thank you very much for calling in. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and again, we want to try to bring in around the country people that are getting involved and show ways, no matter what they're doing, for how you can get out and get involved. And she had some very, very good insights, and I love some of the things that she said. So tell your friends, if they're not watching live tonight, go back, find us, smtx.tv, and let them know about this interview and about what you heard tonight, because that's what we bring you each week.